but we're at the top of a channel, top of a range. You could definitely see some profit taking up here. So is what I'm getting ready to do worked before? Let's see. Buying the top, new high. No, I don't like it. So we went above this high, we sold off. We went above this high, we sold off. We went above this high. What are the chances that we're going to sell off? I think they're high. It's pretty defined. One touch, maybe two. All right. What's the market state? Definitely in a bull channel. So we're looking to buy at this line here and sell higher. What's the width of the channel? Maybe 50-point stops will work. 24-point bar there, 27-point bar there. Even on the higher time frame, looks like the stops may work out. Looks like this channel might be trying to break down before the open though, but it's got momentum. A lot of the gaps below. Stop bulls ran it up, made a lot of money. Bears have been trying to reverse this since about 6 o'clock, about 2 hours in. Looks like we have a wedge top here, 1, pullback 2, pullback 3, or some will say 1, pullback 2, pullback 3, and then we're getting a reversal down. So what do you want to do with this market? You want to buy it or sell it? Buy or sell this market? It looks like the bulls are buying on limits. Buying on stops probably will work at the top of a range, the bottom of a range. So I could potentially get into a buy order here because I don't think they're going to let this drop too far. Pulled into the 200 last night and took off. So probably a good buy at the top of this channel here. I'm going to go ahead and, or at the bottom of this channel, I'm going to go ahead and put my stop about 50 points below here and just see what the market wants to do with that. And we'll try to go for a 2-to-1 here. So 1-to-1's top of the channel, it looks like. And 2-to-1 is a little bit higher than that. So we just bought on bar 99. And I guess we're buying on a stop. So when's the last time it worked on a stop? Bar 92. Bar 92 it worked, and bar 87 it worked. And bar 81 it worked on the trend line. No, bar 82. And that wasn't even a very good bull signal. So bar 82 worked. All right, so I'm gonna see what this does. This could open up and run down. Take my stop. Start a bear trend from the open day. But this has been bullish. Probably, I'm expecting it to stay bullish. It's in a channel. It's worked itself into a channel. And the higher time frame looks good for continuation. But is it going to charge down before it goes up is the question. The question existing. We basically took a buy stop of 99. Got a bear gap above. That's not good for this position here. But I think we'll take that out. Might take it out on the open. Let's see if this runs down where it could potentially reach. It looks like it could potentially reach my order. It breaks down here, bottom of the channel here. So down here is where I would want to be adding on. If it does come down, I'm going to sell one.
Order filled.
I think I might be a little too big. Let's take a little quick loss right now. And we'll look to add that back on above here. If it wants to come above here on the open. Who knows? It could sell off on the open. It could get a big move down, and I wouldn't be interested in adding on to that. But it could also get a big move up, and then if it does, we'll add on above. I'm actually tempted to buy more down here. But we're in a trading range. You got limit bulls working. So the limit bulls are working. Limit bulls are running this trend. Then stop bulls are not. Or stop bears are not. Because they're being knocked out by the limit bulls. All right, I'll buy that.
Order filled.
See what this wants to do here. We do have a test of the high coming up. Test of this breakout. It tried to test it here. It looks like it may go ahead and test it. I'm actually going to use a wide stop and scale in because I believe if we get down here, we're probably going to reverse back up. I'll at least be able to make a small profit or avoid a loss. So, but we broke out of the channel. Now this fails and goes back to the top of the range. Or if this fails and breaks back into the range, then go back to the top of the range. Now, looking at the sell side, what do the bears see? They see two legs down, one, pull back, two. This is a bear flag. They're breaking the channel. I think the bulls are playing coy here, though. I think they're going to wait and reverse this back up. You also have the bottom of the range here where that could potentially happen right here. Right? Bottom of the range. Now you have two of these, two bear bars, but who's buying this or who's selling this right now? What are the chances of them getting a breakout that's going to continue down here after such a strong bull channel? Chances are slim. But this is exactly where you would be stopped out right here. So I'm putting my stop a lot lower. See what the market wants to give though. Definitely a trading range also. So you're in a channel, but you're also in a trading range, and this is the bottom of the range here. So they did return to the bottom of the range. I'm looking for magnets. You got gaps below. That's a sign of strength. This big old gap here, breakaway gap. What we're looking for is whatever we want to do, we want instances of it working before, at least two. At least two instances of whatever we're getting ready to do working before. So buying below a big bear bar, buying on a limit below a bear bar. It's worked before. It's worked here. It's worked here on bar 91. It's worked on, it worked here. It worked here on bar 86. Um, but yeah, probably going to pull back to this breakout point here at some point. So let's just see what happens here. Let's not try to get too big before we catch the trend. Probably shouldn't even be going into the market open with a position, but we're already down from the overnight session. So whatever we do today is just going to be make up work any damn way. So but this channel breaks down. Let's say it gets its measured move. It's going to take us here. Measured move is going to take us there. Now, if it can't get there, that's going to be a sign of strength from the bulls, that they can prevent the bears from getting the breakout to this channel here. Okay. So, and that would take us to right below about half of that gap. All right, so we got some measurements here. Maybe look to buy down here. We're buying the breakout, obviously. Has buying here worked before? It worked here. This could be a good buy here. And then we got to look at bar 102. Has buying say this bar closes at its high. Where is that worked at? Buying on a stop. And it worked all day, especially in the bottom of this channel. So we cut this channel in half and then put a third line here. The bottom of this channel, it worked all day. So let's put the channel, the parallel channel on here. I know it's a lot of lines, but if you've been following me, you see how they track and what they're doing. So let's see if this rips people's faces off at the open or whatever it wants to do. A lot of momentum here. I said that with this doji, but it, I'm looking at another chart and you can just see it just moving up and down so fast. A lot of orders being put in the market here. All right, so we're going up, challenging it to break this high, put us in two more.
Stop filled.
Okay, so now we're in two. We're in four contracts now. And don't want this breakout to fail for sure. See if we can get a bear trend from the open here. It's looking kind of bearish. Or a bull trend from the open. First bar is looking like a doji, and it looks like it wants to reverse. But it's at the bottom of a trading range. So I'm inclined to start nibbling down here. I'd be trying to get to this gap. So if the open is a trading range, increases the chances that we have a trading range day. So we really want to see the bulls or the bears take over. We're long, so we'd like to see the bulls take over. But if they don't, we can take this loss and go short. High of the day there. If I wanted to buy bar 102 or bar 103, who's made money buying above bull bars? They did all here. And you're hoping for a test of this high and maybe a breakout. I'd like to see it just go ahead and move through these highs here. So if it's a bull party, they should be supporting this price. They should be eager to buy above highs. Got a gap above, they should be closing this gap and running right to the top here. Should show their intent. My intent's going to be to get out of the top of this channel here. All right, so buying above a bull bar. It worked here on 102. Can it work here? It also worked here. So buying above a bull bar and a bull trend and a bull channel. How does it work? What you're getting ready to do worked twice before. Worked once here. I don't like this price
Order
action.
filled.
I don't like that price action. Let me reassess here. It's in a trading range right now. That's probably the dominant feature, but it's also in a channel. Oh, excuse me. Scratched out of that trade. If it's a small loss, small profit, we're going to call it a scratch. Doesn't look like the bulls are terribly eager today to get this up there. But you do have a trend bar on the open here. That's a good sign. Most of the activities are happening on the limits. So limit bulls are making money. That means that stop bears are not. Getting ready to get to the top of a channel here. So you got buyers buying the highs, bulls buying the highs, but they're also buying pullbacks because they're buying limits. So if you've got stop bulls making money and limit bulls making money, that means that both bear participants are knocked out. Let's look at 100 points down here. Why 100 points? Because I'm thinking about putting on a NQ instead of an NMQ. Probably get a test up to this. 16 points away. Definitely going to test it. Whether it'll break through the high or not, I don't know. Got the moving averages in line though. They're supporting price. All right, I'm going to buy this E-mini
Order filled.
micro. Let's see what I can get going here. I'm buying at the top of a range. I'm aware of that. This is definitely
Order
why.
filled.
Scalping, waiting for it to pull back. So this candle's very big. It's very climactic. It's at the top of a range, top of a channel. I don't think it's going to go too much further without a pullback, but I don't know. And the best way to get long is to just get long. But now we've broken out of the channel there, and now my stop is 70 points away. So I want to get long. I got to really want to get long. But we're at the top of a channel, top of a range. You could definitely see some profit taking up here. So is what I'm getting ready to do worked before? Let's see. Buying the top, new high. No, I don't like it. So we went above this high, we sold off. We went above this high, we sold off. We went above this high. What are the chances that we're going to sell off? I think they're high. I think they're high even at the open because most moves at the open fail in reverse anyway, like a high percentage of them. So top of the channel, breaking down here. Yeah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that we're going too much higher in the short term. I think we're going to come back down and test this. So this is actually a short trade I could try to take here, but I don't want to trade counter trend because it could just as easily continue up. But because we've broken here, both to new highs and failed, I'm a little weary of taking that up. So if I believe them, if I believe the bears and I want to short on a stop, where has that worked before? It worked on bar 95 and that's it. So stop bears have made money once. Maybe here also on bar 76, but that was a long time ago. So stop bears are not doing really good. So if on bar, is it bar 105? Yeah. So this is bar 105. Um, Stop bears are not making money. So I don't want to short on a stop. Limit bulls are making money. So it's the same as on bar 109. So I should be waiting for pullbacks and I should be waiting to see um, how they treat the pullback. So what is a pullback? We pull back from the high here and it looks like we pull back from the open here. So if we just double this right here, bam, like that. So we pull back from the open. All right, so what are we seeing? We got gaps below. We got a gap below here. And we have a gap here. It's a small one, but it's there. So bulls have gaps that they're not closing. More of a bull trend or a bull channel than a trading range, because in a trading range, all these gaps are going to close. They've also got gaps below the channel. Okay, you got the 200 below and you got the 9 and the 20, and they're both sloping up. So they're getting ready to pull price upward, it looks like. But if we enter at the top of this bar, how do we know we have price support below? And I think that's the tricky part right now. I don't think that they really believe they do until they test down. So if we get back into this channel, probably going to test down. Probably going to test down. But selling a bull bar, selling a bear bar here, it's only worked once. Selling on a bear stop worked once, and it was from 92, bar 92. But that's it. And they made a little. Right? Maybe on bar 106, once you've seen the stop bears make money, because limit bears have made money. Limit bears have made money on bar 105. Stop bears have not made money yet, but now they are. So probably going to the bottom of the channel, or we're going to get hung up in the middle here and we're going to bounce. So, but they didn't bounce here. They didn't bounce at the middle of this. They stalled but didn't bounce. And when then this came down, they didn't bounce in the middle of here. They came down and went to the middle and then stalled and came back down. So maybe the middle of the trading range is not something you want to try to be involved in. But this bear bar is coming down pretty good, bar 106. After two consecutive bear bars, after this, you're going to have big up, big down. So instead of having a trading range open, you might just have a trading range open in a different way. You see what I mean? But let's see how they handle this. Let's look at a 50% pullback of this high to this low here. It's about right here. You can see that's where they're kind of buying. Let's see if this bar closes. But stop bears did make money even if it's pulling off of this low here. So that's something to consider. This could be a deep pullback. So you ask yourself in a bull channel, can bulls make money or can bears make money? And the answer is yes. If they sell the highs, they sell the highs. So maybe it's not a bull channel. Maybe it's a trading range and we're getting ready to break out of the trading range. But bears have only made money once selling a high or selling a low of a previous bear bar. So do they want to get below this range? Perhaps. We'd be looking for a breakout with follow through and then maybe a pullback to get involved. But it looks like the bears want to take over here. Very strong bar, bottom of a trading range. A lot of selling coming in here. A lot of companies going red. But this could be just a test of support, a vacuum test of support, and then we're going to bounce right back up. So buying below a bear bar, how many times has that worked today? It worked here on 101. It worked here on 78. It worked here on 84. So if I was going to buy it, want to nibble, not with one of these. But this is definitely a surprise bar. It's the biggest bar today on the chart so far. And it's still expanding into its close. So we've gotten below the low of the day, just hit a new low of the day. Let's see what happens when we reach this 200. So you had an opening bull push, it failed. And we said if it failed and got back into the channel, it was going to come back to the bottom of this. And that's what it did. We did not take that trade. That would have been a banger. And this is still selling off like crazy. This is a lot of momentum. I don't know which direction it's going to go, but I'm thinking it's going to continue down. It could reverse up on the next candle, but if it continues down, we got to consider joining the bear cause here. So a stop bear has finally made money. And that tells me that this is a trading range and not a bull trend. More of a trading range than a bull trend, because a stop bear should not be able to make money like that if this was a bull trend. And they're continuing to make money. They're getting followed through below here. Limit bears are trying to stop this, but this breakout's pretty damn big. probably going to get another move down. And I need to short it.
Order filled.
Probably going to get another move down. See if they want to visit this moving average here. So it worked once. I needed to see it work twice, but I was willing to do this. I think they got to go a little lower. Breakout below the low. Bulls are trying to buy it up. I'm interested in shorting this again toward the midpoint. Measure this up from here to here, and here to there. Okay. So the gap's about, I'll be like down like $1,200 if it fills the gap and I short again. But that's the risk of going short on this channel here. Probably should have bought. And the risk of a trading range open, big up, big down. So stop bears were not making money, and then they did. And then I tried to make money doing what they were doing, and it did not work for me. But if this retraces all the way there, that might be bad for me. But I think this is going to continue down. About 40 points in the wrong direction right now. Well, about 20. Yeah, 30. Let's see what happens. I got a minute left in this bar. You want to see it try to rally and fail. That'll show that the bears are still in control here. And then we can get a move on down comparable to this bar right here. Let's do a measured move of this breakout bar. Let's do a measured move from here to here. See where it takes us. Breakout. First target's here. But bulls are having a hard time getting this back up there. So they'll probably return to the bottom of this. This could be the retest. Hopefully it is, and then we just dump straight away. Would have loved to have shorted up here, of course. But it looks like they may be trying to let me out here. Bulls are looking for any reason to sell, any reason to get back to break even because they're trapped up here. Bulls are trapped up here. When this traded above, it trapped them. And if they didn't get out in this bar, they're still trapped. They could have scaled in lower maybe, and they're trying to get back to a midpoint, break even. And that's where I want to be selling. So let's see if the bears continue their push because they have definitely trapped bulls up high. They forced them to buy high, and they forced bears to sell low. So they trapped me too. So we're both trapped. Bulls are more trapped though. They're in big drawdowns. I'm still down here. It could potentially come and let me out. So limit bull failed to push this back up. Let's see what they're going to do here when they come down. Definitely more dollars on the buy side right now. So when this comes back down to break even, do I get out at break even? Do I try to take it for a profit? Well, it depends on how fast it comes down here. But just wants to come and tag and play around, I probably need to get out. But if it blows through here, then I'll stay in. Need to start putting in a stop too. But I knew it was going to move off of this low as soon as I bought, so I didn't want to be stopped out prematurely. But I want to see them. I want to see the bears energetically want to get below here. They don't seem like they want to. Seem like they're just kind of testing right now. So limit bears selling the tops of bars. It worked there. It worked at the top, and I still have a gap open. So it's always in short, but in a trading range. And we're at the edges of the range. So we want to see that like a breakdown of this range and continuation lower. All right, we might be getting that now. Let's see. Bulls are defending the low, so limit bulls are active. So when they break this down, limit bulls have failed. That could have been my chance to get out there, but let's see what happens. When they break this low, limit bulls have been defeated, and they're breaking it nicely now.
Order
Like
filled.
that. Okay, so we got to the moving average. I took that profit, put me right back at break even. So you've just seen me make 270 plus 340, almost $600. Well, that is $600. But this was the trade that I wanted, and I didn't get it. So we did what I wanted to do. We touched the moving average. Let's see how the bears react to this. So ask yourself right now at 8:58, who's making money? How are they doing it? What's the market state? Well, right now it's hard for the bulls to make money. So we could be in the start of a bear trend, or this is a bear leg in a trading range. So this is either a bear trend. If that's the case, you can buy and sell for any reason. Or you can, I'm sorry, you can sell for any reason. Sorry, you hear, if you hear me writing, you hear scribbles in the background, that's what I'm doing. I'm writing stuff down. You guys remember that old Eminem, what was it, Stan, where it's all like scribbles in the beginning of the recording. It's like shh, like he's writing. That's kind of what I think it sounds like. I guess I'll know when I edit it. So a bear trend or a trading range. If it's a trading range, we're at the bottom of it. Chances of it being a trading range are high because we just had a trading range open. What did we do? We went up and we went down. Big up, big down, big confusion. So that tells me that the bears are going to be stronger, or bulls are going to be stronger in this area, and bears are going to be stronger in the other area. Okay. And this could be the retest of that, though. This could be the retest of this channel. So if you're waiting for confirmation, you might get it with another bear bar, but bears need another bar. Basically, they need a bar closing below here for this breakout to be a real thing, in my opinion. Because anywhere in here, anywhere down in here, right after the channel, it's kind of like a trap zone. Okay, this area here, it's kind of like a trap zone. So you can't really expect um, the bears to be able to get through that the first time. Bulls are trying, bottom of a trading range. Looks like we might have had a head and shoulder, maybe a complex head and shoulder here. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder's higher, and then we dumped. So looking at that measurement, if we just measure it from here to here, Looking at that measurement, we almost hit it. About 50% of the move will hit it. Okay. What's happening now is limit bulls are trying, and they were just defeated on this bar right here, this bar 107. They were just beat because they tried to buy the bottom of this. Another thing you'll notice is that this is also a trading range. So you have a trading range, and then you have another trading range at the bottom of it. So nested ranges increases the chances that it's going to behave like a trading range, because they bought this to go up, found sellers, couldn't close this gap right here, and so they went back down. Went down, broke out below it, thought that price was too low, and then went back up. That's just the ticks, they're minus 300. ADD is also selling off a lot today. It's minus 700 companies, and it's down 900 since the open, but it's minus 700. So am I noticing any other patterns? If you notice, stop bears are making money, or limit bears are making money here. Sold the top of that bar. So if I place a limit order to sell the top of a bear bar, where has that worked before? It looks like it worked once here, selling the high of that. It doesn't look like it's worked anywhere else though. But this is really kind of bearish here. It's really bearish. And the limit bulls were just beat up out of this trade here. So they could not be looking to get beat up again. Let's see how this closes. Good bar for the bulls, or good bar for the bears. Shows that there's sellers above, but this could change its mind in the last couple seconds and jump back up here. You run the danger too if you're trying to sell on this low. So it worked here, it didn't work here, but I still made money, but I had to sit through a pullback bar. So if this is the pullback bar, I'm hoping that it'll close at its high and then I can short it, because limit bears are not making money, and it's probably gonna be very hard for stop bears or stop limit bulls. Stop bulls. Limit bulls have not made money. So stop bulls have not made money. So the chances of them buying above a bear bar, or buying above a bear bar, which is buying above a bull bar, and making money, I think they're diminished after you have this breakdown. We are at the bottom of a range and we broke out of a channel, but they're having a hard time getting back into the channel. There's no urgency to get back in. Okay? The only thing that's keeping me from shorting this more right now, after we've tagged this 200, is this long ass protracted overnight trend. It's already broken out, and I think this was enough consolidation, and this was enough consolidation for them to figure out what they wanted to do. But we did get a test of the breakout point like we thought we would early this morning too. It's just a little bit deeper than we thought it would go on a bullish day. So at the low here, we did not short because I said this could close up and continue, because we're in the buy zone, guys. This is the buy zone. If I think we're in a trading range, which it's looking like we are, trading range bar here, big up, big down, we're in a trading range. This is the buy zone. So it's the trap zone for bears. So how do you trap them? You get them down below a bar and then you reverse up. And that's what I don't want to happen. So I should be either shorting the tops of bars so that if it travels to the low, I have a profit. But you see what it did here? Got almost down there and then reversed up. Got 7 points down and reversed up. So this is the buy zone. And if we get back into this channel here, probably going to go back up to the top of the channel. So broke out the top, trapped some bulls, failed. They got to let these bulls out up here. They don't have to, but chances are the bulls are not going to stop buying until they can make this trade right. Until they can fix this trade right here. So if you bought here, you bought the breakout here. Let's say you bought right there on the breakout. And then you bought more down here. your limit is about the halfway point. About the halfway point of this order. So if they can get back here, probably let the bears out or the bulls out that sold up here, and then we can go down for another leg. But this is a nice breakout bar. And if once again we trade below here, we're going to see the limit bulls being defeated. And if they can't make money, stop bulls can't make money. So you can really go short for any reason. So I'm interested in seeing them get beat up. Got the potential for a double bottom here though. So you got to be careful. I'd put a stop below here to see them get beat, but you could come to this double bottom and reverse back up. But lots of bearish momentum today. The market stopped selling off. It's now starting to go up a little bit. Not the market, the ticks and ADD. This is what I'm looking at on another screen. Sorry. See how we started up here? Started up here, plus 200 companies. Now we're minus 800. Ticks are trending down. Haven't been able to break this upward trend line here. So there's a lot of uncertainty, and that's what you have in a trading range. It looks like it's going to break out. See how it looks like it's going to break out, and it may, but it could also double bottom with this. But limit bulls are having a hard time defending the trend, and in order for other participants to join them, they're going to have to put in some support, and that's just what has to happen down here, and it doesn't look like it's going to. Okay, now they're coming below here. Let's see if they trigger the sell. Okay, they triggered the sell below this bar. See this bar just traded below here? They triggered the sell. So bears are trapped if they don't get followed through. And remember I said, how do you trap them? You go below a bar and you reverse up. They went one tick below this bar, which would trigger a sell. Not a very good sell. I wouldn't want to sell below this. It's not a bear bar. But, you know, it is, once you've had stop bears making money and then you see the limit bears selling, you know, the highs or the tops of bars, you could pretty much sell for any reason and make money. But they trapped the bears there. So maybe the bears drive them to their profit target, but let's look at the measurement for these bears here. If you got trapped here, you bought or you sold here with one tick, you got trapped. If you sell up here, which would be around your 50% of your move here, you're going to be getting out right where the bears, right where the bulls that are scaling in from this high are trying to take profits. So chances are we're going to get back to this, and then I expect the bears to take over again and to come back down. But right now, we've trapped bulls, or we've trapped bears into this move up. So let's see if the trap holds or if they get out. About 40 seconds left. The minimum that this bar wants to see is a green bar. Doesn't want to see a bear bar at all. Even if it's a doji, a small green, that'll give the bulls confidence that they need to go up. But it doesn't look like they're going to get it. But the minimum that they want at this range right here is a red bar, a green bar. What do I want to do here? Do I want to sell below a bear bar? That's only worked once. It's only worked once. Actually, limit bulls have made more buying below bars than bears have made selling below them. So let's see what they do with this. They could come through here and make a double bottom here, especially with the 200. Now, if they melt through the 200, you can go short. But until they test it again, they've tested it once and pulled off of it. Until they hit it again, might be letting the moving averages catch up. It's a lot going on right now. Getting your three pushes down. 1, pull back 2, pull back 3. This did go below here, so this is a pullback. And you're getting the start of a triangle here. It's descending. I don't know if you can see it. What did I do with those ticks? Put those back over there. So you've just got a trading range down here now. Trading range went up, went down, went up, went down, went up, went down. So trading range, trading range, they're battling it out. Bulls and bears can make money, but you need to be selling high and you need to be buying low. So 9/11, so buy low, sell high, and scalp. All right, so they're choosing to break down here. So more limit bears are being defeated here. Limit, I'm sorry, limit bulls. I know I keep fucking that up, guys, but you get what I'm saying if you're watching this and if you've been following me or you follow Al Brooks. Limit bulls are being defeated on bar 111. And the selling has begun again. So lower prices are more probable right now than higher prices. Given this activity, what would have to change? Um, Obviously, the Bears would have to start putting, or the Bulls would have to start putting limit bears out of business, which means they would have to be closing at their highs and then buying that high to put in another bar, which we said we think they might do. So, but they did trap the Bulls here, or the Bears here, but they got untrapped on this wick right here. So maybe they don't need to add on here, but it looks like they're going to add on higher. Let's see if volume is telling us anything at all. Let's go. Where's the indicator? Usually have volume on, but clutters up the chart sometimes. Let's see. Volume. Let's make it its own pane. Move to new pane above. Okay. All right, so what's volume saying? Is there harmony in this? 100% there is. Big move, big volume, doji, more bears in that bar than bulls. I'd say this is harmonious as well. What I don't like about this though is that as this is an increase from this bar to this bar, but as it's going down, the volume is also going down. And you don't see that unless the move is not real most of the time. So we're combining price action, Al Brooks, a la Al Brooks, with volume spread analysis, which is how probably most of you found me. They're telling two different stories. Volume's telling that this is going to reverse because this should be picking up. And price action saying that we're in price action supports it. I mean, we're at the bottom of a range. We're in the trap zone. We have sort of made a higher low double bottom here after breaking out. So this is another failed breakout in a trading range. So breakout, they failed, came forward. But this leg is strong enough to get a second leg down. Was this the second leg? And are we getting now momentum up in the buy zone? So buy zone right here, breaking above, trying to break above this. So if they do this, they're defeating some limit bear party right here. Limit bears are getting rejected right here, getting beat up because they should be selling the tops of bars. And they should be eager to do that because it's worked all day. It worked here once, it worked here once, and it worked here once. So I wouldn't be buying this. I'd be selling this if I was interested in this. I'm just not comfortable in the trap zone here. I'm not comfortable buying at the bottom of this because this could very easily just explode to the top because we are still in a freaking bull trend. It's still a bull trend even though it's at the top. Okay. This was a bad bar for the bulls. Trading range, definitely more bears in that bar. Very similar volume to this bar. This volume actually had more and they got more spread out of it. This had more volume here and they got less spread out of it. It's making me really want to take this short. I'm going to short it. But I'm going to be shorting at the bottom of the freaking range. But I'm going to short it.
Order filled.
Let's see what it wants to give. It trapped me. I'm going to have to try to manage myself out, but it's looking like it wants to come down here. Be interested in shorting more higher, obviously. If this puts in two big bull bars, I'm going to short one of them at least. Add to this. So I sold low, and I'm being punished for it, but looking like it wants to break down. This is where I should be shorting right here, above the high of this bar. Limit bears did not let them trade high above this, but they did give them a tick. They did trade below this. Are they trying to get to this low or are they trying to double bottom? So I'm really trying to decide, is this a bear leg and a trading range and we're going to go back up, or is this a bull? Is this a bear leg and a bear trend? And it's looking like a bear leg and a bear trend, given everything else that's happening across the market, the ADD and the everybody's selling off. So there's profit taking, but is it enough to start a bear trend? Or do the bulls see this as value enough to buy more? A lot of trading range. I shouldn't have sold low. Should have bought or stayed flat. I should have sold higher up here. So I'm trapped in. This bar is closing. It's closing bearish below the low of this, so that's promising. Let's see if we get follow through now. They haven't really gotten any bearish follow through since this first push down. It's just been back and forth in this range. So wouldn't be surprised if they went back to the top again. This is a trading range. But they're pushing the lows more than they're pushing the highs. But you got bear bar, bull bar. Can bulls make money? Yeah, if they buy the lows. But the lack of consecutive bear bars shows that this isn't a strong bull or bear trend. but it could turn into one. They just need another couple of bars. They need a bar trading below here, closing at its low. And I think the bulls will give up for a little bit. And they reached down here, didn't let me out though. Bears look like they want a target down here. I'm trying to figure out. This is a half R. Bears looking to get this maybe. Here we go. Now we're getting a nice breakdown.
Order filled.
All right, so I took that because on this time frame right here, let me see here. Look at all the spread they're getting out of this little bit of volume here. So this means two things. It means the bulls are not trying to they're not trying to buy this because they're waiting for lower prices. Maybe they're waiting to completely test the bottom of this breakout, or the bears are that strong that they can move the market with this little bit of volume. You are seeing the bulls try to come back and buy this up. That's why you see the volume increasing and the tail increasing. But anyway, let me show you why I took that, why I thought this would reverse up. It's over here on this screen. Um, right here. This screen here, I have that, and that's what I was banking on there. So you see my executions here. You see this is a real account. It's not a prop or anything like that. We got in here for a scalp. We did catch this even though we called it out. Didn't catch it. Then we sold below here. And then we sold below here. So a couple of things that we didn't do right today. We kept selling at the bottom of a trading range. And we even bought at the top. Okay, and you can see this reached here also. Couldn't reach it, and that's what made me think this was going to happen. And now we've went below a low, and we can't get back up. I'm sorry, we went below a low, bounced on a trend line, and reversed this completely up. But yeah, so we're up about. Well, I can just show you here since you've already seen everything. Let's see here. We're up about 251 right now for the day. And that was a nice take. That was a nice scalp. Let's see what happens here. So look at this bar. Big old green, which means you had a lot of bullish participation in this bar because they had to push it all the way off the low. But look, they didn't get any movement out of it. They didn't get any movement out of that bar. So would this matter if this bar was slightly red? What is it saying? It's saying trading range, but it's giving the advantage to the bears. So bar 114. So what's the next move? Well, you're in a trading range now, at the bottom of a trading range. So the next move, if you sell the high, how many times has that worked? It worked once here. It worked on bar 111. So let's see, the idea is sell the high. And it worked on bar 111. It worked on bar 110. And it worked on bar 109. So selling the high, being a limit bear, is what is working right now, because they're not convicted enough, it looks like, to sell the lows too much, but they're definitely selling the highs. And stop bears have to get in gear and start selling the lows of their candles. But every time we get some, we've been getting bear bar, bull bar, bear bar, bull bar, and it hasn't been giving us what we need. So the strategy should be sell the high, because if you sell the low, you're probably gonna be pulled up. Selling the low is not working. Selling the low is not working right now. All right, let's look at some big picture, and then I may have to just end the video. Nothing else is happening at the moment. Let's look at this on the hourly chart. Hourly had a breakout. Now it's got like a descending or a broadening wedge up at the top. It's also in a trading range though. Broke out at the top of it, came back down. So might actually be trying to get to the bottom of the range here. It's in the middle of the range right now, and this is the fair price. If we put a volume profile on that, I wonder would it show it? It should, because it looks pretty clear to the naked eye. So a lot of the things, guys, that I taught in my earlier channel days when this channel first started, I still use them. Like, I still use VSA, just not all the time. I still use volume profile, just not all the time. And I tell you, yep, see, I just said that this is the middle of the range, and they're in the middle right where they want to be. And I put a profile on it, and bam, look at that. So, but I can see that. I don't need this profile to see that now. You see what I mean? I can see that normally. I can just see that looking at a chart. So I still use a lot of this stuff. It's all technical analysis. All of this stuff on the side, all of these tools, all the indicators you see pop up when I look for an indicator, they're all things that I still use. They're all tools, okay? The key is to find out what the market is going to do. And there's countless ways to analyze it. Countless ways. What I like about price action and volume spread analysis is that it's quick. I'm just looking for, is there harmony between this bar and that bar? Like, look at this big green, look at this big red bar here. This big red bar with this volume, hold on, let me look at this and then we'll get out of here. This big red bar with this volume produced 39 points down. Okay, the same kind of volume, you see that I'm up here, the same kind of volume right here, okay, produced 23 points up. So what does that tell you? The bears, and it wasn't around the same time of day. Let's look at the same time of day. That's perfect. Here we go. Same time of day, pretty much, about an hour apart. They produced 61 with theirs. These bears only produced 39. Okay, but this is more than a 39-point move down. This is a 112-point move down, because at one point this bar was solid green. So I have to give that to the bears. Okay, I have to think that the bears are getting more out of their volume than the bulls did yesterday, around the same time of day. Okay, this does not look good because you're more than half the volume of this. Okay, you're about half the volume of this, and this is all you can produce. So that's showing me that the bulls are buying this. They're coming back. Okay, so I don't know where this market is trying to get to, but we're definitely in a trading range, and we definitely should be selling the tops of bars. So if you get to watch this earlier, you can see how that played out. This might be the first instance where a stop bear makes money right here. And if he does, he's going to be breaking a trend line and probably going for this low right here. But the bearish momentum is definitely there. I kind of want to sell again for another scalp, but I want to do it at the top of bars. I don't want to do it below. All right, I think that's all I'll do on camera today. You guys have a good day. And comment, like, subscribe, all that good ish. Or don't. Bye, guys.